What's up, Savvy Expats? So we are with JJ, the Lonely Bull in Asia. JJ, it's a pleasure to have you on, my friend.
Good to see you again.
So last time we talked, you were on the channel, and it was probably my first ever interview, and I enjoyed it so much I had to have you on a second time. So if there's one thing that you guys should know when you're doing a podcast or interview with JJ, we got 3 Americanos here.
That's right. We had 4, but I polished one off. So yeah.
Let's cheers to a part 2 podcast.
There you go.
All right. So JJ, for those who haven't seen part 1 months ago, can you give us a little background about yourself and where you're from?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm from the Midwest in the States, in the U.S. Born in Nebraska, born and raised in Nebraska. Mm-hmm. I've lived in like 8 different states. Wow. In the U.S.
So you were a nomad.
I was kind of a nomad, yeah. a lonely bull.
A lonely bull.
But then I moved out here in 2022, March of 2022, for a job. I was working for an online university, global university, and they were expanding into the Asian market. And so they hired me to do the expansion. So this was back in September or October of 2021. I did some research. That's where I came across your channel, and that was instrumental. Your channel was instrumental in me deciding to move to BGC.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, so I thank you for that. So I moved out here in March of 2022, set up my office, set up my hired local employees, and when that job ended at the end of the year, last year, and I just decided I would retire.
Wow.
Retired early. So
amazing. And then that's when you started the YouTube channel?
Yeah, I was doing YouTube. I was doing videos of my experience in Asia and just putting them on YouTube, unlisted, and just sending the links to my friends and family. And I got bored being retired, so I thought, why don't I just do this for a living? And so I kind of upped the ante a little bit and started doing it. And the interview we did last summer, I think it was, helped me get monetized. It jumped my subscriptions up.
Amazing. Essentially what I'm hearing is that you're living the expat's dream, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So you went from, being in the States, you were working in education, brought your business here, and then eventually you just started a YouTube channel because you're bored of retirement.
Bored from retirement, yeah.
Love it.
So now I will say that my income has dropped significantly since I've been retired, but even in BGC, arguably the most expensive city in the Philippines, the money I make now in my retirement is still plenty to budget what I need.
But if you were still in the States, that wouldn't be...
Not even close.
Yeah,
no,
it would be hard to sustain yourself.
I'd be living in a trailer down by the river.
Well, since you brush up on that topic, let's talk a little bit about the income change. Now, you don't have to be specific whatsoever, but a lot of expats, when they move here, their concern is that leaving the States, they're going to have their income slashed, or it's going to take a hit a little bit because job differences, job opportunities, and whatnot. So how has that been for you? And by the way, really quick before JJ answers that, I want to announce that we are on the last video of our 3-series masterclass, the Lifestyle Arbitrage. This is a completely free masterclass, so if you want to get access to the last lesson, we have limited spots available. So be sure to sign up in the link in the description down below.
Well, I was making really good money when I came over here with my job in education. I was a director of admissions, and I was heading up the Asia department. So my money was really good, and especially for here. I say this in a lot of my videos, if you're going to move out here, don't live like a tourist.
Yeah.
Live like you live here. So don't go out to eat 3 times a day. Don't go drinking, and don't go partying because your money's going to run out very quickly. I was lucky enough that when I was working here, I was making good money, so I could have that kind of a lifestyle on a daily basis. I could travel, I could eat well, I could party or whatever. But when I retired, my income dropped more than half.
More than half?
More than half.
No kidding. But you retired here, right?
I retired here,
okay.
Yeah. No, there was no way I would retire if I moved back to the States. I would still be working. I'd be working until I was 70,
Wow.
But here I didn't have to. So You know, I crunched the numbers. It's like, man, I can retire now.
Wow.
And make the income I'm making and live comfortably.
And still live comfortably
Yeah.
in the most expensive city in the Philippines.
Yeah, I mean, think of think of how my lifestyle could be if I was in a smaller city or a province or something. I'd save a lot of money, but I wouldn't have the conveniences of BGC.
Right.
And that's what made me stay here. It's
100%.
so convenient, so nice.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you mentioned that because I was recently reading a Yahoo Finance article that said the new American dream is to leave America. And when you hear that, it's like it just sounds kind of negative.
Yeah.
But when you also hear your experience that you could retire today because you essentially you arbitrage your lifestyle and your income in a new country, I mean that gives a lot of hope to, I'm sure, a lot of Westerners.
Yeah, I mean, it can be done. I mean, I just did a video on my channel, just did it today actually, on my new budget for 2024. And I'm literally, my budget, and this is an average, it's about $1,500 a month is what I'm spending on, and that includes rent, food, utilities, all of that, $1,500 a month. So I've got a lot of money left over to do my traveling, or if I want to eat out a couple more times a week, I can do those
So
things.
you're living on $1,500 per month in BGC, right? And so is that as a single person, or are you with anybody?
Well, I'm a single guy, but I have a living girlfriend. We've been dating for almost a year now. So she recently moved in with me.
Nice.
So we eat at home more often, so that saved money. She shops for, we get our groceries, our meat, and fruit and vegetables at the market in Guadalupe, at the wet market.
Nice.
So we save a lot of money. And just for an example, we're looking at fresh shrimp at Landmark, and it's like 900 or 1,000 pesos a kilo.
Yeah, $20 a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went to Guadalupe, to the market there, and got a half a kilo for 200, less than 200 pesos.
$4.
Yeah, less than $4.
Wow. So a
for
4 to
half a
20,
kilo
yeah.
of fresh shrimp.
So you save yourself $16
Oh
on
yeah,
shrimp. Dang.
yeah. So
yeah.
so if you're smart, I mean, you could go to the grocery store and have that convenience of just walking around and picking what you need, but you're going to spend more money. So if you're smart about things, you can live comfortably in a town like, or in a district like BGC on $1,600 a month.
Amazing. And so what would you say is like the sweet spot that you would give as advice to an expat coming to BGC for the first time?
A what?
Like the sweet spot budget.
Sweet spot. Oh, I would say come here with $2,000 a month. Have a steady income. You know, so you're not going to just live off savings. Have savings, but $2,000 a month you could live fairly comfortably. You can have a decent life at $2,000 a month.
On $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
And what would that lifestyle sort of entail?
I mean, you're probably spending 35,000 peso or 40,000 peso for rent. You know, in a one-bedroom condo.
Yeah.
You know, decent furnished.
Yeah.
You can eat out 2 or 3 times a week.
Right.
Go have drinks with the guys. Now, the thing about BGC is you can find places to eat that you can get a good deal. You know, 300 pesos, which is what, $5.50 or $5.60,
Right.
$5.60 for a meal, or you can spend as much as you want. I mean, you
Yeah.
can go as high as you want in BGC as far as dinners, but you can find those deals. You can find good deals. So if you want to live on a budget, you want to be frugal, just look around and you'll find those deals.
Yeah. 100%.
Like I ate at Sonny's for breakfast the other day. I had 3 pancakes, an egg, and a big chicken breast, and it was like $2.70.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I need to go to Sunny's
And
more often.
100 peso for a coffee.
No
So,
kidding.
yeah,
So
so-
a $2 coffee and like your
So
your
under
meal was
$7
like six- Yeah.
for a whole meal.
Dang.
Yeah, it was really good too.
Wow. That's a
So
lot of
yeah,
food.
so there are places in BGC where you can get cheap food.
100%. And I think on my channel we talk a lot about budget, but what I don't often express enough is that it's flexible. When you're living in BGC, especially as a single guy, you've said it yourself, you can live on $1,500, $2,000 a month, or you could go as high as you want,
Yeah.
especially in BGC. So
Or you can adjust. I mean, it's like, you know, maybe one day out of the week or every other week or something, I'll splurge and and spend 800 pesos for a meal or something like that, or
Yeah.
1,000 pesos for a meal.
Right.
And you can get a really good meal for $20 US.
100%.
Where that same meal in the US would probably cost you 50.
I actually recently saw an article that there's $18 Big Mac meals in the States now.
Oh, that's crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, when I went back in last September, I had a stopover in San Jose, and I was starving because they didn't feed me on the airplane. So I stopped in there. It was like a 14-hour flight. I stopped in the airport and got a burrito, just a little burrito about this size, and it cost me $21.
$21.
Yeah. Now,
for a
granted,
burrito.
that was at the airport, but
Yeah.
still, $21 for a burrito.
Nah, I mean, back in Chicago.
I could get, yeah. Oh, it's
so
probably even
much-
worse. in
Yeah, I mean,
Chicago.
it's expensive there as well, but yeah, I mean, you said it yourself. So we talk a little bit about like your cost of living and whatnot. You say you're spending roughly around $1,500 for yourself and your girlfriend. Can you kind of break down what that $1,500?
Yeah, so about $620 for rent.
And how many bedrooms is your?
Just a one bedroom.
One bedroom.
Yeah, it's 50 square meters. It's a corner unit, so it's got a great view.
Oh yeah. The
great
corner
view.
units there at your place.
Oh my God, yeah, great view of Makati, the skyline of Makati, and the golf course, the Manila Golf Club, polo grounds. We can watch the horses run around.
Yes.
But we're pretty high up. We're 29 stories up. So.
29.
But it's nice, and my utilities. So I'm on the west side, so the sun, where I was before at Fairways Tower, I was on the east side, so that sun came up right first thing in the morning, and it got so hot in there I had to run my AC all the time. So I was paying between 5,000 and 6,000 peso a month for electric. Here, I just got my second bill, 2,500.
Wow.
2,500 pesos, so less than $50 for electric.
So a tip for expats: if they're gonna stay on the golf course,
Find something on the west side.
Stay on the west side.
So because I don't run my AC during the day, only I run it a couple hours in the afternoon, and then at night in my bedroom I'll run the AC.
I mean, golf course be like that. The sun coming up on the east side, the problems we deal with.
Right, I know, right?
But no, it's good. Yeah. So your rent is like 600.
Yeah, rent's a little over 600. It's 35,000 peso. Utilities with my water is about 450 pesos a month, and then we get the big jugs of water for drinking, and we go through one of those a week. So it's another, that's 50 pesos a week, so 200 more pesos. So about 600 pesos total for all the water.
For water.
Nearly nothing on transportation because we walk everywhere in BGC. We will, if we go to the market or something, if we need to get a Grab or a taxi or even a jeepney or a minibus or something. So I budget about 1,000 pesos a month, so about $18 a month for transportation.
And as far as like leisure, how much do you spend with that in BGC?
Leisure, I figure you eat out a couple of days a week. Beers, we can get, go out and have beers with my buddies. So that comes to maybe 4,000 or 5,000 pesos a month.
4,000 or 5,000 bucks. That's good. Like
Or
$100 a month.
Maybe a little more than that, maybe 10.
Yeah.
I think I budgeted like 12,000 pesos a month.
Depends on how good of a time you guys want to have.
Exactly. Yeah. So 12,000 pesos a month.
12,000 bucks.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and that's some months will be higher, some will be lower. Just depends on our mood.
But ballpark, it's usually around $1,500 to $2K a month.
Yeah.
Good. And yeah, I mean, like we mentioned, living on that kind of budget in the States, you don't really get very far with that. But here, I mean, you could live a good lifestyle, have a golf course view and whatnot.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah.
And then with my phone, my Filipino phone is about 800 pesos a month.
800 pesos a month. Okay.
And my internet's about, what is it? 1,800 pesos a month, I think, is for my internet.
For internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's not much at all, like $35 a month.
We were talking about it earlier too, JJ, that you're planning on going to Thailand, right?
Mm-hmm.
When are you planning on leaving for the
in February, middle of February.
Middle of February.
I'll be gone for about a month.
Nice. And you've been to Thailand previously.
3 other times. Yeah,
3 other
I love
times.
Thailand.
a lot of time when an expat's choosing where to live in Southeast Asia, it's a toss-up between Thailand and the Philippines. So can you talk a little bit about how cost of living in Thailand compares to the Philippines?
Well, in my experience, it's cheaper in Thailand. Housing's cheaper, quality's better.
For housing.
For housing, like
Nice.
condo units are nicer. The food is generally a little cheaper. Now in BGC, you've got a lot more. It's more westernized, so you have a lot more of the Western franchise restaurants and bars and that sort of thing. You don't get that in Thailand as much.
Not even in Bangkok?
A little bit in Bangkok, but not so much. I mean, like you can go and find a Hooters or something like that.
They have that there in Thailand?
Oh yeah.
I guess like you just walk around anywhere in Thailand and there's
Right.
it's a Hooters.
Yeah, exactly. It's not called the Hooters, but but they have they have the fast food like the Burger King, McDonald's, and things like that. But the reason I came here because of the job and the language barrier. The English language is widely spoken here.
Was that a deal breaker for you?
For moving to Bangkok or other places, I actually looked at Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia as one of the places I might move to for the job. They have English there. They speak English there, so that's not an issue. But yeah, I think when it came right down to it, it was that, and I picked BGC because you don't have brownouts here.
No.
All the power cables are underground.
Yep.
You don't have flooding issues, so you have good internet. That's what I needed. So it ticked all the boxes I needed. And once my job ended and I retired, I just stayed here. And when my lease ended for my last condo, and when I moved back, or I came back from the States in October, I thought about maybe I'll live in Thailand or maybe I'll live in Vietnam. But it was just so convenient here, and I just decided to stay. So got another year of me.
Another year in BGC. So.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Could be worse, right?
It could be worse, exactly. The life we live. But so you were staying in Thailand. I mean, I'm not sure how long you spent in Thailand, how much time you spent there, but I'm assuming it's typically vacation. So that may change your cost of living a little bit there.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, on average, a month spent in Thailand, how much would you be spending?
Well, I think you can get a decent condo for, 500 American dollars a month.
Nice.
So, and right there in Bangkok, right near the BTS, which is the Sky Rail. So you can get a really decent condo, furnished condo for that, and they've got so much street food there, and it's good street food.
It's not like the street food here?
Yeah, it's not like the street food here. I don't eat the street food here. Every time I've eaten the street food here, I've gotten sick.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's just me or if
No, it's not just you. It's not just you.
But the street food in Thailand, I've never had an issue with it, and they've got it everywhere, and it's super cheap. I mean, for less than 100 baht, which is like $3, you can get a really good meal.
So you think you could stay in Thailand for like $1,000 a month? Or is that kind of pushing it?
Probably not in Bangkok.
No.
I mean, you could live anywhere for any amount of money.
But I mean,
what quality of life would you have?
Exactly.
That's the whole thing.
That's
I mean,
true.
if you want a horrible quality of life and live in a lean-to and just eat rice 3 times a day, or not even that, so you can live cheap. But to be comfortable, I think you need probably over 1,000, 1,500.
1,500 as well. Okay. Yeah. So a little bit similar to BGC, except that rent is more affordable there.
Right. Yeah.
So excuse me. I'll cut that out. Okay. So as far as your visa situation in the Philippines, what's that looking like?
Well, I'm on a tourist visa.
Okay.
So I just extended this month, and I got my new ACR card, which is Alien Certificate of Registration card. My old one had expired. It's good for a year. I just got my new one, so I'm good to go with that. The nice thing about our lighting guy.
It's perfect.
The nice thing about the ACR card is you can use it to travel anywhere in the Philippines, so you don't need to take your passport with you. It's also good for using an ID to open up a bank account or things like that. So So that's nice, and you have to have it after you've done your 59 initial days. You have to get an ACR
You have to get
card.
it. Yeah.
So I extended my visa for 30 days. Now I won't extend it this next time. It expires on February 17th,
Okay.
but I'm leaving the country on the 15th, so I won't need to. I
Right.
won't need to extend it. So when I
Perfect.
get back in March, it'll start over. Your visa-free entry. I'll start over. And I'll get my 30 days for free, and then I'll extend for 29 more when that's up.
What's the longest you've extended in the Philippines?
I did 6 months at one time, and I don't think you can do 6 months anymore. I think they stopped that.
Did they change that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But I made the mistake when I first got my ACR card. I did 6 months, thinking, "Oh, I'll do 6 months. I won't have to worry about it." And then 2 months in, I flew to Thailand. So it's like, oh, I just wasted 4 months of extension
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
flew to Thailand.
So does
because
that
it's not a
reset it?
yeah, it had
Yeah,
it restart. It's not multiple entry.
Right.
Whereas in Vietnam, you can do 90 days multiple entry.
Really?
Yeah, so you
Oh,
can
that's
come and
great.
go from Vietnam.
Yeah.
So
And as far as like resetting the clock, so you typically say like 60 days ish or 4
yeah,
months?
usually, but
Yeah.
you know, if I depending if I travel or not, you know, when I get back from Thailand, I may not travel for a few more months. You know, I don't know.
Right.
It
That
just
makes
kind of
sense.
depends. I'm kind of I kind of fly by the seat of my pants, so to speak. So
okay.
I'll get a whim. It's
Yeah.
like to go to Thailand. It's like, oh, I'm going to Thailand.
Yeah,
Just
living
thought
the
about
life.
it one day. Oh yeah,
Living
that's
the
what's great about being retired in Asia. I mean, my round trip ticket to Thailand and back, $173.
No kidding.
Yeah, super cheap. So
Insane.
yeah, that's what's nice. You can't fly from state to state in the U.S. for that.
No,
I mean,
not even.
maybe you get these Vegas packages once in a while, but
Yeah.
but it's so cheap to fly from country to country. So it's really nice.
Wow.
This is a nice location because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really easy.
Yeah.
You know, we're close to the airport.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
30-minute drive to the airport, and then you're off in the plane.
I always say like BGC is a very ideal home base because we're very close to the airport. It's comfortable. You don't experience brownouts, and
Right.
power outages, and floods, and anything like that. So I mean, it's a great home base.
Great home base.
So
yeah, I agree.
As far as visas, you mentioned that you had to get an ACR card, right? And that allows you to open up a bank account in the Philippines. Were you
Right.
able to open up a bank account here?
Well, I haven't yet, but I know you can. Now, the thing about the Philippines, and I'm sure you've been here 5 years, so you know, there's nothing set in stone. The
me
rules are dependent on who you're talking to at the time.
Tell me about it.
So you can
So
walk into
true.
one bank and they say, "No, sir, we don't take the ACR card," and go right next door to the next bank and they say, "Yes, sir, we'll take that." and it's like that everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's nothing is set, which is funny. It can be frustrating at times, but you just have to adjust and
Yeah.
adapt or die. And
Exactly. They say it's all about who you know here.
exactly, yeah. And my condo owner from before, her husband's a big corporate lawyer in Quezon City.
Okay.
So she told me, anything you need, just let us know, and
Oh, there you go.
we'll find the right people. So yeah, it is
Yeah.
who you know.
Yeah, like business here. I forgot the name of it, but somebody commented on my latest video. But it's along the lines of it's like your buddies, your compadres here.
Right,
So
yeah.
that's like how business is done here.
And they have fixers here too.
They have a lot of
And
fixers.
if you don't know
here.
what a fixer is, you pay them a little bit of peso, and they get what you need.
Oh yeah.
They take care of it for you. Yeah.
And as far as health insurance, I mean, do you have any health insurance plan
Yeah,
here?
I have like a traveling health insurance, and it costs me $114 a month.
$114.
$114 a month.
Yeah.
It's $50,000 of medical. There's a $500, this American dollars, $500 deductible, and it covers a lot of things. It covers hospitalization. It also covers if I have to make an emergency trip back to the States. It covers $5,000.
And so is this international insurance?
It's international. Yeah.
And what company did you go with?
It's seven. You got me stuck on that. Hang on a second.
I think because if we don't disclose this, like our viewers are going to be dying to know.
Right, yeah. I can tell you in a second
Yeah.
because I got the website right here.
Sure.
You'll have to edit this. 7 Corners.
Seven Corners Insurance.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
okay, so yeah, Seven Corners Insurance.
Okay.
So you can do that. You can set the insurance up to a year at a time, and then when you re-up, then they adjust your cost compared to what your age is.
Yeah. I think that's probably like the ideal insurance plan to go with.
Yeah, I mean, you can get some local stuff here, like Phil Health, but that's more of like it's more like a discount insurance.
Yeah.
So I think it's a reimbursement type thing.
It's
too.
a good plan. I mean, $114 a month.
Works for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm older, but my health's good,
Yeah.
so I've never had to use it. You know, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Hopefully I never have to, but it's there if I need it.
It's the 3 Americanos a day that keeps you going.
Keeps me going. Yeah.
Same
And the
here.
bucket of beer.
Bucket of beer as well. Nice. So you've traveled a lot around the Philippines since we last talked. I think our latest interview, first one was maybe 6-7 months ago, maybe even more. Actually, a lot more.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it was
sure.
like in June or July, maybe.
Yeah. So from the time we talked to now, I mean, what's your travel itinerary been like around the Philippines?
Well, in the Philippines, I've been to Dumaguete, I've been to Bacolod. Those are both in Negros. I can't remember if I traveled to Tagaytay. I think it was before we interviewed before.
Okay.
But I've been to Tagaytay, I've been to Iloilo City. Those are the main places I've been in the Philippines other than Metro Manila.
Right.
Overseas, I've been to Thailand 3 times.
Nice.
I've been to Vietnam twice. I've been to Singapore once.
Wow.
I plan on going to Japan. I haven't been to Japan for almost 4 years now.
Sweet.
So I want to go back there. I'm dying to see what if anything's changed, you know, since COVID.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to go to Malaysia. I've never been there. I want to go to Kuala Lumpur. It looks like a really neat city.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my plans for 2024, and then go to other places in the Philippines, like you know, down south to Panglao.
Panglao.
Yeah, I want to check the beaches out there. And
I hear it's beautiful there.
yeah, Alona Beach, I guess,
Yeah.
is really nice. So check that out. And
So we all know that Dumaguete is like the scene, right?
Dramageddon.
Dramageddon, you know. I forgot what they call it, but I think they call it like the drama queens of Dumaguete or whatever.
Something like that,
some
yeah.
Grandpas of I don't know what they call it, but it's like the scene. Everybody knows about it as far as expats that want to move to the Philippines. And I'm sure like when you watch these videos, it could be enticing to want to move there because all the vloggers are there.
Oh yeah.
But in your experience, I mean, apples to oranges, how does living in Dumaguete compare to living in Manila?
Oh, there's no comparison.
Really?
Dumaguete's so small. I mean, there's not one stoplight in the city,
No kidding.
and the traffic is crazy busy.
Really?
Yeah, there's no Grab.
Yeah.
There's no taxis. You have little trikes,
Yeah.
you know, with the sidecars.
Yeah.
That's your mode of transportation, unless you have your own vehicle or own bike or whatever. And it's just so small, and that's where the drama comes from because everybody knows everybody.
That's true.
I was there for a week last month, or I guess in December, and I'd get up, go walking, and I'd see the same expats every day for a week straight.
Wow.
I'd see the same guys, and it's like, man, you know, unless you're like you have that circle of friends, you're gonna see it's the same people all the time.
Right.
There's only one club. I mean, I'm not a club person, but if you're into clubs, there's only one there, and it's just a small club. So it's just not for me. I like bigger cities. I like more amenities. And
Things to do. Yeah. So what's like the appeal with Dumaguete? Because I've never been.
I don't know. That's a good
Okay.
question.
So-
I guess from what I understand, there was an article in Forbes magazine a few years back that
yes.
said this was the best one of the best retirement cities in
I
the
think
world.
That Forbes article magazine probably ruined the retirement scene there because
Yeah,
it's just
probably.
too congested now.
That and all the vloggers.
And all the vloggers too.
There's so many of them there. I mean, it's
There
like
is.
I bet per capita, it's probably got the highest concentration of vloggers in the world.
Yeah, they're all like neighbors over there.
Yeah,
so.
I think, and they all know everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak too much because like we're both in BGC, we both vlog as well.
Right.
And now the vlogging scene here is starting to shoot up now.
Right,
So
exactly. Yeah.
we might just be the next Dumaguete.
Well,
But
so be
we're
it.
big enough. So we're big enough.
We're big enough. We can handle it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But,
So, and you said you also been to Bacolod. How was that?
I liked. I was only there for 2 days.
Okay.
I want to go back and spend more time there. It looks like a really nice area. It's got some big malls. It's got an SM mall and it's got all the transportation, Grab and taxis and things like that. So it's a lot larger city. I think it's about 500,000 population.
Wow.
So it's a lot larger city, and it's easy to get around. And from what I understand, it's really developing. They're getting a lot of new developments there, but the prices are going up from what I see. So, the cost of living is going to be a little higher there.
Right.
But I want to spend more time there and just check it out. Iloilo City is right across the strait, and so that's a nice city too. I like that.
It is. Yeah, nice city there. As far as like the rental prices in Dumaguete, did you get a chance to take a look at that?
Dumaguete, I didn't really look at rentals, but I've seen rentals there, and I think they average maybe around 25,000. I could be wrong, but 25,000 peso a month for an apartment or a small house maybe. But like I said, a lot of people swear by Dumaguete, which is fine. It's just not for me. It's too small for me.
Right. Yeah, different strokes for different folks. I mean, like we like big city people, so we like BGC.
And another thing I noticed by Dumaguete is the prices of the restaurants there are comparable to here in BGC.
No kidding.
So you're paying about the same amount of money for a
I didn't expect
meal.
that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
BGC is like, people can all agree, it's the most expensive you kind of get in the Philippines.
Right.
So for Dumaguete,
now obviously, I'm not talking about the high-end restaurants here in BGC, but I'm talking about average. You're spending between 400 and 500 peso for a meal.
Yeah.
You can do the same over there too.
Wow.
So yeah.
No kidding. So you also said you've been to Vietnam, correct?
Yeah.
How is the cost of living over there?
Cheap.
Yeah.
I think of the 3 places I've been to the most here, Thailand and Vietnam, I think Vietnam's probably the cheapest. From what I've seen. I've been to Ho Chi Minh City. I've been to I think it's Vung Tau. It's down south. It's kind of a beach, smaller beach area. And then I've been up to Da Nang, which is beautiful. I love Da Nang.
I hear good things about Da Nang.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice. And the rentals are cheap there. The food is cheap. The food is really good. The only downside is probably the language barriers a little more so than here or even in Bangkok, Thailand.
Okay. So yeah,
so bring your Google translator.
Oh yeah, bring the earbud translator or Google Translate over there. Yeah. So as far as your dating life in the Philippines, I know you have a girlfriend, but like how has that been for the past couple of years?
Well, we've been dating for almost a year now, so I'm off the market. I've been off the market.
Yeah.
But prior to that, when I first moved here, I concentrated mostly on work, so I didn't really get into the dating scene for a couple of months. And then I just kind of dated around and just never really found anyone that kind of stuck,
Right.
So I don't know if that's typical or not, but I found that most of the Filipina that I ended up dating weren't from BGC proper. They didn't live here or didn't work here. They're from either outside in Metro Manila or another province.
And why is it? Is it because they're a different type of individuals?
I think it's just a different type. Yeah. I think the women in BGC are very westernized.
Yeah.
And this is just my personal opinion, and I'm not. This is general. I'm just being using a generality.
Of course.
I'm not saying that every woman that lives and works in BGC is like this, but I've noticed that the ones that I've noticed, the majority of them seem to be a little more westernized. They act more like someone from the States or Europe maybe. So maybe a little more unapproachable I guess would be the word to use.
Right.
You know, not saying that it's impossible, but I was looking for more of a down to earth
I see.
type of person, so not so high class and.
No, I understand what you mean. I totally get it. And so, I mean, coming from the West, have you noticed there's a difference in dating customs here in the Philippines, in your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I was married for a long time, so I didn't date a lot after my divorce. I dated a little bit, and then I moved out here. So, yeah, I think dating's a little different here. They're family oriented here, probably a little more than they are in the States or in the West. So you kind of, I know when I first started dating girls here, it was almost to a point where they were afraid to let their family know that they were dating a Westerner because then their families start asking for money.
I've experienced that, not the asking for money part, but like telling their parents about.
Well, it's almost like, oh, you're a Westerner, you must be rich.
Yeah, exactly.
To their standards.
Exactly.
So they were afraid to let anybody know. And so I get that. But say in Vietnam, it's even different, more different, because they have to get the blessing of the parents of the family to date.
Wow.
And the age gap thing isn't an issue here. I mean, I have friends that are in their 60s and are dating girls in their 20s. You know, it's not a big deal here. You see that all the time.
Not at all. Yeah,
and Thailand's the same way. Vietnam, not so much.
Really? So that they like closer.
Yeah, closer age.
Yeah. From what I've observed here in the Philippines, though, I've seen like a lot of girls that are in their 20s, and they don't even date guys their age because they prefer more matured men. That's why you see a lot of like.
Yeah, and I don't know whether it's because of the maturity level, or whether it's more of a transactional thing.
Yeah.
Because they're dating an older foreigner because he has some money.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of an exchange of, you know, it's like I'm providing you a service and you're providing me a service.
Yeah.
And maybe that's it too.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that there isn't that possibility of them. There's love connection there too. I mean, I'm sure that happens too.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if there's more of a transactional thing going on.
So you have dated in the Philippines, and in your experience, what advice would you give to expats that are looking to come here to find some companionship?
Come here first before you start looking for a girl.
Oh, great advice.
Because don't do a long distance relationship. They don't normally work. And it's not really, to me, it's not really a relationship until you actually meet in person.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You can talk to somebody over the internet or FaceTime all you want, but if you never meet them in person, you don't know that person.
Yeah.
So it's not really a relationship.
100%.
And to be honest with you, if they're in an LDR with you, that doesn't mean that they're not in an LDR with 2 or 3 other guys.
Yeah. That's the sad reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're waiting for the one to show up
first
before it's actually official.
Yeah.
So you can't blame them. I mean, I wouldn't.
They're looking for security too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So come here first. Find the girl. Find where you want to live. Don't be in a hurry to rent a place. I would do an Airbnb for a few weeks until you make sure you're in the place you want to be in. Then find a place to live. And then look for your girl, in that area. So that would be my suggestion.
Great advice. I mean, just take things slow.
Take it slow.
Yeah, be calm. Sell yourself first, and then go out.
And don't jump into a relationship. Don't meet a girl and move her in the first day. No,
can't do that.
Rarely ever works.
Yeah.
So it was 10 months before my girlfriend moved in with me.
Okay, that's good. So you got to know her a lot.
Oh yeah.
So as far as like dating aside, what has your experience been with just the locals in the Philippines?
For the most part, it's been positive. I mean, most of them are very friendly, especially, and being a vlogger, if you've got that camera up and you're walking by,
Yeah.
people love to say hello to you.
Oh yeah, they go in the back and pokey pose and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, vlog. Hey, YouTube. Hey.
Yeah.
Shout out. You know. So, but yeah, they're friendly, and especially if you get outside of the city.
Yeah.
If you're in the provinces or even in parts of Manila that aren't so westernized, people are very friendly there.
Oh yeah.
Where I see people that aren't as friendly is through customer service. If you're dealing with retail or businesses, I was actually in a printing place here in BGC to get something printed off of an email, and the lady, she was probably early 20s. She never looked at me.
Wow.
She's sitting at the counter, and I told her I needed this printed. She never looked at me once. She was fiddling with a pen for like a minute and a half before she printed my document.
Yeah.
She printed my document, put it up there, continued not looking at me. I think she's on her phone or something.
Yeah.
Told me the price. I gave her the money, and she walks away, and I go, "You're welcome." And she turns around and looks, she goes, "Thank you." It's like,
Gosh.
customer service.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And you do come across like that kind of customer service here.
I get that once in a while, yeah.
Like I mean, sometimes the service here can be really good, and then sometimes it can be just completely opposite side of the spectrum.
But I must say, you get that everywhere. I mean,
True.
we
True.
get that in the States a lot.
That's so,
So
true. Yeah.
it's those things are few and far between.
Yeah.
I would say 95% of the time it's been positive.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. And as far as your plans coming this 2024, what's that
I
like?
want to travel more. You know,
Yeah?
I love traveling. So, like I said, I want to get back to Japan. I want to go to Kuala Lumpur, go back to Vietnam. I want to travel more in the Philippines. Go to places like Panglao and Alona Beach and
Nice.
check out the beaches.
A lot of
and
traveling.
I don't know about Boracay or Palawan. Those are so touristy.
True.
I don't know if I want to check those out or not.
Yeah.
But I want to get up to Baguio and check that out. And
Good.
I just want to do a lot more traveling and then just kind of document everything on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, so you're gonna have a lot of new places to vlog. And speaking of, can you give a shout out to your channel so that people can check it out in the
Oh
description?
yeah, absolutely. It's JJ the Lonely Bull in Asia.
JJ the Lonely Bull.
And I picked the Asia part instead of Manila or the Philippines because I want to do videos in other countries in Asia.
Right.
So I don't want to pigeonhole myself in just Manila or
Right.
BGC or the Philippines.
You have the flexibility.
Yeah,
Nice.
kind of like with your Savvy
Right.
Expat. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, JJ, it was a pleasure to have you on, my friend.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you
was
so
great.
much.
Great seeing you again,
And,
Evan.
Maybe part 3 once he gets back from Thailand. So
There you
thank
go.
JJ.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right.